It was a bright, cold day in April, and all the clocks were striking 13. It seems as cold as you could ever remember it being, but yet again, you aren't even sure if you remember anything. The clear-cut boundary between what is falsifiable or true is always at a blur. All you do know for sure is that Big Brother is watching you, and that is a constant in your horrifying reality. This scenario is exactly what George Orwell wrote about in his novel 1984. The setting, Oceania, is a totalitarian to the extreme country which controls your every thought and even time itself. Time is something which exists only for each person individually, and all have different perceptions of it. Therefore, who controls the mind and the records controls the past. This means that diversity of thought doesn't exist as the party controls all minds. Newspeak is a language which limits the thoughts of all citizens because there are simply no words to express rebellion in. This will make going against the party literally impossible. Doublethink is the mental capacity to accept contrary statements and opinions. War is peace, freedom is slavery, ignorance is strength. All oxymorons which the party relies on to keep control, but this is only of a small portion of the population which actually matter and work for the party. Everyone else is part of the pearl majority, the ignorant, poor, and unimportant group that is just really an Oceania as any animal would be. Oceania itself is in a constant state of war with its neighbors in the world, East Asia and Eurasia, whoever it may be at the time, as it often changes just by a whim. It doesn't matter though. What does matter is that Oceania is in a war, just to keep the structure of the society intact. Both other groups have the same sentiments, as they are barely different from Oceania. This was to be the future in 1984, but luckily for us, the 20th century went down a much different path. The book serves as a constant reminder of a path which not to go down, but it would be false to say that it deterred everyone. Just around the time the book was released, a new country was founded out of the rubble of the Japanese Empire. I think you know where I'm going with this. North Korea, the Juche, one-party, communist state. Everyone's heard of just to what extent North Korea sticks out in their world stage in all her outrageousness. North Korea worships their leaders as if they are godlike, and that is absolutely no understatement. Rocket Man can do no wrong. In North Korea, there is no freedom of speech, and even saying the wrong thing once can ruin your life. There is no freedom of movement. You are not to move where you want in the country as you please, or leave the country as a whole. Immigration is seen as a disgusting and traitorous act against the country. North Korea has been put under many international sanctions and has been shunned for the way in which her people have to live their everyday lives. Poverty, starvation, torture, and cannibalism are everyday occurrences for some of the less fortunate in the country. The two states which I've discussed appear very similar from our eyes. However, they have very different goals. It is just the conduction which looks the same. Oceania is all focused on stability and enduring forever, having known the mistakes of past empires, which leads to the silencing of anything that opposes her. North Korea is focused on nationalism and unity, so much so that anything that opposes that belief must be silenced. In both societies, these different desires lead to some rather same measures being carried out to their citizens. The government brainwashes all to do their bidding, while prosecuting and torturing all who get in their way, whether it be a public execution or being sent off to a political prison camp. North Korea tends to be more public with people who have been taken to camps, such as to outline and shame them. Oceania, on the other hand, erases all signs of executions and vaporations generally, and even mentioning them means to go against the party. 1984 serves as a constant reminder to what could go wrong in a society, while North Korea is playing as the real-world example of just that. So when all clocks strike 13, don't think it's so out of our world. If you liked what you saw, then why not check out my South American Empires Irredentism video. This month is going to be rather eventful here, so be looking forward to that. See you in the 12 days of mapping, and good day.